Good morning. Today, October 11th, 2020, this is recording 114, entitled, All Things Are Possible. What would it mean for you to know that anything conceivable to you within the scope of God's domain is possible? All things are possible. These words were ushered out of the mouth of Jesus himself. In Mark chapter 9:23, he says, And Jesus said unto him, If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. All things. You know, we see people out and said, I'll pray about it. And Jesus didn't say go pray about it. He said, if you can believe, all things are possible to you. So what must I do to bring about my harmony? Believe. You don't ask God to give you a new car. You don't ask God to find a job for you. You don't ask God to find this, do this, make people do. No. Jesus said, if you can believe. So my work from sun up to sundown is what? Learning how to believe. Because Jesus said all things are possible to him that believes. So if I know that I believe, what is possible to me? Anything. It's like Psalm 91, which we just had a little earlier. What did it say? Nothing shall stand in front of you because you believe. What do I believe? I believe now that my soul has awakened and that I am a free-flowing intelligence. Did you get that? There's not a God I have to pray to help me do something, because God, if you're looking at this world, you'll see that God is not helping mortals. God is not helping people solve problems out there. Well, how are the problems getting solved? Well, if you're looking out there, you see they aren't. But Jesus said, pay no attention to this world, because this world is not your home. But if you dwell in the place of believing, well, how do I dwell there? I go there in secret. I sit down and I rehearse in my awareness. What is my awareness? My thought pattern. I rehearse what it is I choose to see. What do I choose to see? I choose to see that there is an infinite intelligence out there that created all things and expresses all things, and it is ever with me. I do not have to go anywhere to contact it. I don't have to make a contract with it. I only have to accept the fact that it is with me always. Son, I am ever with you. I will never leave you. I am with you always. Be not afraid. Well, what does it take for me to prosper? Believing. Jesus said all things are possible. So then the key word for me from sunrise to sunset is believing. I must train myself to believe. What do I believe in? I believe that the Father is perfect. I believe that the Father has no punishment in me. The Father has no evil. The Father will not withhold anything from me, for he reigns on the just as well as the unjust. The Father is with all of mankind, and the Father only seeks to do good. Well, if I understand that, then I sit down and I rehearse. I rehearse. All things are mine. Why? Because the Father is ever with me. And my will is to do the will of him that sent me. I have no self-interest in this world. I have nothing that I choose to do or want to do out here except to please the Father. And as I please the Father, I realize the Father is pleased with me listening to him. For him that can hear, this puts the greatest of opportunities squarely under the authority of the conscience of mankind. Did you get that? If you can hear what I am saying right now, the greatest of opportunities to live free of any bad situation, to live free of any inharmony, to live free of any altercation, destructive altercations. That puts them securely under the authority of my conscience. I have the ability to choose what I choose to believe, and it is going to come to pass. If it is of a negative value, it is going to come to pass of a negative value, and I am going to suffer. But Jesus said, if you hear my teachings, and if you do what I have said to you, what I have taught you, you shall be free, and no man shall harm you. In other words, there is a power within every man to express his own harmony. The authority of my harmony on this earth is not me fighting to get something. It's not me arguing or making a deal with someone. Where do I get this harmony? I hold myself in the secret place where only I and the Father are. I take the words of the Father and I take them into this secret place and I listen to them. And I accept them because this is the road to my harmony. This is the road to my soul awakening. This is my avenue of freedom. This power is accessible because of the inherent ability given before the world was. Man has the ability to bind and loose situations according to his ability to believe. Let's cut out all this arguing with people. Let's cut out all of this opinion that we give to one another. I think you ought to do this or you should have done. That's none of your business. Let's cut out all of this. God, I need you to come and bind this. God, I need you to loose this. Look at the scripture, Matthew 18. Jesus said, I tell you a secret. Whatsoever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatsoever you loose on earth shall be loosed in the earth. He did not say pray to a God to come and bind. He did not say pray to a God to come and loose. He said whatsoever you. So what's the only thing standing between me binding and loosing? Believing. Believing. As I go to the secret place of the Most High, and as I hold within my consciousness the truth of God and God's creation, remember I said this gift is inherent. If you have a gift within you, will you not bring it forth? You see, those of us who drive vehicles, the gift of driving is already within you. It's already there. It's called intelligence. The ability to get behind the wheel of a vehicle. You should not be afraid because the gift is there. You only need to take the right steps. An open car lot, an open whatever, where you can go and learn how to turn the wheel and push the brakes and all of those things. But the ability to do that is already in you. You don't go somewhere. You do not go to the Department of Motor Vehicles to learn how to drive. Hello? They cannot teach you how to drive. You teach you how to drive by paying attention to the instructions given to you, the safety instructions. That's how you learn how to drive. You learn to stay within the instructional values that are in the book. So how do you learn how to bind and loose? By taking the instructional values of God and going and sitting with them. Stop asking God to do them for you because they're already within you. You did not come to this planet without those values. All things are yours. In him was life, and that life was the life of every man that comes into the world. So therefore, all things are created by him. All things are what? Created by him. Where is this creative intelligence? Where is it keeping itself? Within my awareness. I am with you always. You are never alone. So therefore, when your soul wakes up, your soul goes, I am that. It is I that bring these things. If you want to have financial security, you just need to sit down and say, I am financially secure. Why? Because of the inherent value that's already within me. What does God have? Hello? The earth is the Lord's and the fullness, everything thereof, the world and they that dwell there. Son, thou art always with me, and all that I have is thine. That's what you take into the secret place of the Most High. That's what you go sit down and go, I am as rich as God is. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills. All that the Father has is mine already. I just simply need to what? Believe. I can't make myself believe. I can tell myself this over and over and over and over. That's what a lot of church bodies are doing right now. They're rehearsing. They're telling themselves over and over and over, but they are not believing. How do you know they're not believing? Because they're always asking you or someone else to give them something. What does a flower ask? Does a flower ask itself to bloom? Does an apple tree ask itself to put apples on it? No, they flow into their destiny. Why? Because they were designed to do this from the beginning. What was man designed to be? To show forth the properties of a perfect God. How? By being still and understanding the personalization of conviction. Expected results follow the personalization of conviction. If I am convicted that I am a child of the Most High, then I am convicted that all that the Most High already has placed this intelligence within me. I do not go anywhere to get God's intelligence. God's intelligence is not in that Bible. The truth about God's intelligence is in the Bible, but God's intelligence is where? In me. It's always with me. Therefore, I should never have a problem ever, ever, ever. The moment something raises up and says, I don't like you, I don't want you to do this, where should I do? I should retire into my awareness. I shouldn't stand there and argue with you. I shouldn't stand there and try to tell you why I deserve this and you can't do this. I should turn from you and go immediately into my awareness and go, peace. Be still. What am I saying? I am describing a situation where it appears now that my peace is shaking up. How do I know it's shaking up? Because it's causing me to think about stuff that I should not be thinking about. Jesus in the boat. And they said, don't you care that we perish? And he awakened and said what? Peace. Brothers and sisters, you are talking about something that means absolutely nothing to God. Put your mind back where it's supposed to be. Where? On God. Put my mind on God. He is able to keep at perfect peace. Yeah, but I don't feel peaceful. That's right, because you're expected to put your mind on God and God immediately do something, and it may not immediately happen. But if your conviction is personalized, that I cannot be moved, I cannot be put off my peace because my conviction has been personalized in God. Oh, my friends are going to look at me and say, aren't you going to do something? I'm doing it. Well, what you doing? You don't need to know that right now. You see? Why? Because I am honoring the Father, and the Father says, I will honor the Son. Well, wait a minute. I honor the Father by what? Keeping my mind stayed on the peace and instructional value that he's given me. How does he honor me? By expressing that peace. Can you see it? I don't need you to say, oh, what a miracle. I don't need to come to you and say, let me tell you what the Lord good. I don't need to do that. If I honor the Lord, I am convicted of my personalization to believe in God, and God honors me because I have done so. Why? Because God's awareness and my awareness are one and the same. There is no God coming to deliver me. Well, what delivers me? My awareness. My awareness of who I am. What delivers the flower from the seed? The awareness put there from the beginning, and the flower offers no opposition. Do you see that? I don't want to be a dandelion. I want to be a rose bush. Well, if the flower had the ability to do that, what would it turn into? Nothing. It would be nothing. So there, it doesn't have the ability to argue. It just is what it knows itself to be. Man, know thyself. Who are you? Are you somebody out here trying to get people to respect you? Well, guess what you're never going to get? Never going to get it. No, you're never going to get it. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Never. There is no one on this planet to respect you. I hope you understand that. I hope you do understand that. And you don't need anyone's respect on this planet. You only need the respect of the Father. But the respect of the Father is going to flow to everyone through you. All things exist completely formed within the Creator and consist of his nature. You notice on your printout in dark writing, this is a leveling truth. Where do you see the things that you want in life? That's right, in your mind. And when you see them, are they complete? Yeah, they are. That car, I want a Honda CRV. Complete. Right? I want a Mercedes. Bing. I want a house on a hill. Bing. You see the hill, you see the house. Right? Where is the Creator's mind? Are you waking up? You look into your mind, you are looking into the Creator's mind. And whatsoever you are looking at is what? Complete. Secure. I see a mountain brook. There was a lady that decided that she wanted a second house. She lived in the city, but she wanted a house out in the country, and she saw it. She said it has green shutters. It's a white house. It has a flowing brook running through the yard, and it has big oak trees, and it has all of this and blah, 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 and it has animals and whatnot. So she went to the realtor and told him that that's what she wanted. Guess what the realtor said? There ain't nothing around here like that. So she said, well, just look. And after he showed her many properties where she said, nope, 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 he finally says, well, right around the corner over there is a place that you described, but the owner doesn't want to sell it. She says, well, can I go talk to him? Sure, but he's not going to sell it. So the realtor took her to the owner And she told the owner what she wanted to do. And guess what the owner did? Sold it. She ended up with the White House with green shutters, with a flowing brook and big trees and animals. Where did she see it? In her mind. Excuse me. Was it already on the planet? Yes. So she did not create it, but she was shown the picture of it, and there it presented itself. Why? Because expected results follow the personalization of conviction. Whatsoever I hold in my conscious awareness, if I am convicted of it, what must it do? It must show up. It cannot withhold itself from me. Why? Because it exists. Anything that I see up here exists. Because I'm looking into the infinite, invisible. I'm looking into the mind of Christ. And how many minds are there in this world? One. It looks like there's billions of different minds out there. No, Paul says there's only one mind, and it's the mind of Christ. Some people misuse it. Some people abuse it. But in reality, how many minds are out there? One. So when I look into that mind, I see that which is. And guess what? If I'm convicted, it has to form itself or present itself to me. Now you can see all these arguments that you're having with people. You shouldn't be having them. It's a waste of time. My mortal mind talking to your mortal mind is a waste of time trying to persuade one another in whatever direction, when all I need to do is go into the secret place of the Most High, tell the Father, which is the infinite awareness that is inherent in me, go in there and look at, and God is saying, son, I will withhold nothing from you. All that I have is thine. I am with you always when you pass through the fires. What would be the fires of that situation? Waiting on that thing to present itself. Because people, if you go tell someone, they're going to tell you that doesn't exist. Or you're never going to be able to do that. This is not for you. You don't have enough money. But a man told me a story today about having no money and buying a truck and having no repair equipment to maintain the truck, and the parts place advancing him the parts to keep the truck going. Why was this man persuaded he could do that? Because he had been told beforehand, I am with you always, whatsoever you have need of. Oh, who do we know said that? Whatsoever you have need of. So if you're sitting around thinking about what you have need of and you don't have it, guess what you're thinking? You're thinking erroneously, and you're not going to get it. Let not this man think that he's going to receive anything. So what should I be thinking? Help my unbelief. Man has within him the abilities of the Creator because he is the substance of the Creator made visible. If you hedge on that point, you're never going to make it. Yesterday, I spent most of the day going, man, there has to be an infinite intelligence. There has to be something that brought everything into existence. What would you be willing to do to be in the presence of that? Now look about you and look at all the things that your friends and neighbors are chasing after, and they're never going to find it. They're chasing after things on this planet. They're chasing after things that they think are going to make them happy, when there's an infinite intelligence out there that's just saying, come, let me make myself known. And where are you going to go? Jump on a plane or a boat and go across the water? No. I am where? With you always. You don't have to go anywhere. Well, I can't. When I get home, I'm going. No, don't wait till you get home. Do it when? Now, right now. Oh, God, I want to come to you, Lord, but I know you're busy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I hate to disturb you, God. And, all these people coming. No, What's God saying? Come. When? Whenever. Now. So what is God saying? I never tire of you. Never tire of you coming to me. Just quit coming to me asking me for stuff. Hello? How many times have you asked God for stuff and didn't get it? That ought to tell you something. No. What have you been told the reason you didn't get it? You didn't need it? God has a better idea? What'd you say? Yeah, it wasn't your time. You don't need it. It wasn't his will. Come on. That's a lie. What did Jesus say? And Jesus said unto him, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believes. So what is withholding that thing that you see in your awareness from coming to you? The lack of believing. So your work should be done on what? Your self-believing. There is therefore no request to be made nor bargained for, because he, God in Christ, are before all things. This ability is always with me. I am with you always. Now, for those of you who are saying, but I don't know how to meditate. Yes, you do. All things are before. All things are complete. Whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world. I am born of God. My awareness knows that there is only God and God is the only power. My awareness knows that there is nothing that can be withheld from me, for the Father has given me all things. Son, come. Come unto me. Make yourself known, and I will give you the high places. That was a meditation, y'all. You are directing your awareness in the direction you want it to go. Your awareness is the Father, not this concept of a God that they've told you about. Your awareness is with you when? Always. It will never leave you. And it is waiting on you to create within itself what? All things are mine. And as you rehearse this, I am with you always, believing that he is the substance of the Creator, individualized, is believing. I am the substance of the Creator, the infinite intelligence, individualized. There's your meditation. And when you say it to yourself, you may hear a little voice say, yeah, but I really don't believe that. There. That is what must be overcome. So if I keep on telling myself that this is the truth of being, God has made man upright. I have been made upright. All things are mine because God has given me up. There's a meditation. So don't say you don't know how to meditate. You do know how to meditate. Simply instruct yourself in the perfect laws of God and wait for the conviction to come. It has to come. Why? Because the Father always honors the Son. I hope you're hearing me underneath what I'm saying or over top. The Father is your awareness. And your awareness will give back to you what you have decreed. By your words shall you be justified, and by your words shall you be condemned. Where are these words coming from? They're coming from me, but where are they going? They're coming from my awareness. Then what am I doing? I'm telling my awareness what I want to see, and my awareness is going to give it back to me. Justified or condemned. Choose you this day. Well, I'm not good at meditation. Well, get good at it. I remember, I was the other day, I was trying to tell somebody an example. I said, look at the things which are not seen. And something as simple as a do-rag. put it on your head, and watch as you fold the straps around your forehead into the back, and as you put it in the tying motion and in the looping with it, you're looking at that through your conscience, even though you can't see it with your eyes, but you do see it. What are you seeing? You're invisible. You're seeing. So therefore, I look within my awareness and realize the Father is with me always. What shall I fear? What can man do to me? If God be for me, what are you looking at? The invisible. The opening in conscience is the open door that eventuates into fulfillment. That for which he was sent into expression. My will is do the will of him that sent me. My doctrine is not my own. That's what Jesus said. In and of myself, I can do nothing. So stop trying to make yourself believe and simply sit with a passionate heart to accept the truth. And the truth is going to express back to you what you believe. In the beginning, you may be holding off, or you may be going, I'm not sure whether this, but if you keep doing it at some point in time, it has to express itself. By personalizing oneself with the words and teachings of Jesus Christ, conviction is established. Make the words of God personal. Personalize yourself with them. Don't tell people that's what you're doing. Just do it. Here, one secures his position, total freedom, in a manner that we know not how. God works in mysterious ways, what? His wonders to perform. What I've just shown you, there's no more mystery. Whatsoever you take into your mind and rehearse over and over and over and personalize yourself with. You know, people, you see some of the prettiest girls walking around or some of the most handsome men, and you go up and talk to them, and they be talking about how ugly they are. Where do you think they got that from? Then you see some of what you would call some of the ugliest people, and they walking around going, yeah, I know I'm all that. And you be like, what did they do? They personalized it. And what's really odd is that personalization draws to them. You be like, man, that dude, that girl's so ugly. Why people love them? Because they believe that that's what they are. And then you see the prettiest one and the most handsome, and you go, how come nobody want to hang with them? Because they got an ugly attitude. They act ugly. See, I remember back in the day, they used to say, man, put a pretty woman on your arm. That ain't the answer. You go home and go through hell dealing with that person. You know what I'm talking about? Or the man. Put a handsome man. He's just something that you just, oh, Lord, what was I thinking? But when you're out in the street, you're showing off that, yeah, man. And you be willing. You be willing. I wish somebody would come take this off my hand. If thou canst believe, then greater works than you have seen me do shall you do. Someone, please tell me how you get around that statement. Jesus Christ, out of his own mouth, made that statement, and yet our church is teaching that's not what he meant. Someone, please tell me what he meant. The things you see me do, greater, either bigger, right? Like the lady in the commercial with the 5G. You need to make a big deal out of it. Bigger? I am making a big deal out of it. You bigger than this? What's bigger than 5G, y'all? It ain't 6, is it? Because 6 ain't coming out probably till next year or whatever. But you see what I'm saying? Right now, there's nothing bigger. Well, what is greater, bigger than Jesus Christ, or more than? Take your pick. Doesn't matter. Jesus said, you can do this. You can do it, water boy. Did water boy think he could do it? Yes. The conviction set in. Greater work. This is the blessed assurance that man is not to be subjected to and overcome by situations and conditions beneath his heritage. Hello. Are you suffering out there? Yes. Well, if you're suffering, whose fault is it? Mine. Why? Because you have an assurance that you can be subjected to, but you will not be overcome. Why? Because I go to the secret place of the Most High and declare that which I know myself to be. I am the offshoot of God. I am the child of God. I am born of God. I am the glory of God individualized. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I am that. I am all that. I am all that God is individualized. I am the Son of the living God. You do that over and over and over, and guess what? It's going to become personalized, and it's going to give itself back to you. What do I need to do? Nothing. You like the flower? Nothing. Your personalization of that truth is going to express that truth as your symbolized life. What do I mean by that? Things are going to show up to express what you've been carrying in your conscience. That's how the person who seems to have no money ends up with beautiful, expensive vehicle. People, oh, they must have money. Let them think what they choose to. But where did the car come from? It came from my ability to believe that I can have that. Do you realize how many people out there would love to have a Maserati, but they can't? There's no way they can get it because they don't have the money. But if they believed they had the belief, it would have to show up. It has to. Why? I and my Father are one. When you see me, you see him that sent me. This assurance reveals to man that he, not God being requested or persuaded to act on his behalf, he is able to do what seems impossible. I sure hope that drops a thing of dynamite in whatever you think is being kept from you. God is not keeping anything from you. Who's keeping it from you? You are. You are. When you choose to believe, what will you see? Jesus said, from this moment on, you shall see the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man. Who is the Son of Man? I am. See, everybody thought he was talking about him. He was talking about him, but he says, look, because it is ascending and descending these gifts on me, what are you going to say when they start ascending and descending on your sons and daughters? Hello? You are the Son of Man. And Jesus said, now that you can see that God is with me, now you're going to see this process ascending and descending on who? Those who can believe. Why? Because he believes. All things are possible to him that can't believe. God bless you.